You've been losing weight, but stubborn belly fat refuses to budge. This reveals something critical most people don't understand. That persistent belly fat isn't simply fat beneath your skin. Hidden deep within your abdomen lies visceral fat, wrapped around your liver, pancreas, stomach, and intestines. This isn't cosmetic fat. Visceral fat actively drives diabetes, fatty liver disease, heart disease, and cancer. Visceral fat operates like a metabolically active organ, releasing inflammatory compounds into your bloodstream. These substances interfere with insulin signaling, elevate blood pressure, and accelerate aging throughout your body. Every day that visceral fat remains is another day your health deteriorates from the inside out. But here's tremendous hope. Visceral fat, despite being the most dangerous fat type, responds faster to targeted interventions than any other fat depot. Once you understand strategies that attack visceral fat at its source, you can see dramatic changes in weeks, not months. Today's video reveals exact science-backed methods to eliminate visceral fat quickly. We'll explore powerful foods that activate fat-burning genes, specific drinks that block fat absorption, and precise exercise protocols proven to strip away dangerous visceral fat. By the end, you'll have a complete action plan to transform your metabolic health. Let's begin. Most people think all vegetables are equal for fat loss, but science reveals otherwise. One specific category of plant compounds stands above the rest for targeting visceral fat: carotenoids. These natural pigments give carrots their vibrant orange, tomatoes their deep red, and spinach that rich dark green. Beyond color, carotenoids function as powerful antioxidants that directly combat visceral fat accumulation. Understanding why carotenoids work requires understanding how visceral fat develops. When you consistently consume excess calories, inflammatory stress develops through free radical production. These unstable molecules damage cells and DNA, disrupting normal metabolic processes that regulate fat storage. Carotenoids neutralize these free radicals, restoring cellular stability. The most remarkable aspect of carotenoids extends beyond protection. Research demonstrates these compounds actually modify gene expression related to fat metabolism. They activate genes responsible for burning fat while suppressing genes that signal fat storage. A randomized double-blind trial in Japan provides compelling evidence. Researchers divided 28 middle-aged Japanese men with obesity into 4 groups, each consuming different combinations of carotenoid-rich vegetable beverages daily. After 8 weeks, every group experienced significant reductions in visceral fat measured by CT scans. Participants consuming vegetables high in lycopene showed particularly pronounced results, though all carotenoid groups benefited substantially. Practical action is straightforward. Consume a variety of colorful vegetables daily. Orange vegetables like carrots, sweet potatoes, and butternut squash provide beta-carotene. Red vegetables and fruits, including tomatoes and red bell peppers, deliver lycopene. Deep green vegetables such as spinach and kale offer lutein and zeaxanthin. Yellow and orange bell peppers contribute additional variety. The key insight: diversity matters. Don't fixate on finding one magical vegetable. Instead, make every meal a rainbow of plant colors. Each color represents different carotenoid compounds working synergistically to reduce visceral fat stores. Aim for at least 3 different colored vegetables daily, and you'll supply your body the tools it needs to activate fat-burning pathways. Before we dive deeper into the powerful compounds that can transform your body composition, let's take a quick moment. If this is your first time here, welcome to our community where real science meets practical health strategies. We're building something valuable together, so please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You don't want to miss what we have coming next. I'm also genuinely curious. Where are you watching from today? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Whether you're joining us from Tokyo, New York, Mumbai, or anywhere else, I love seeing our global community come together around the shared goal of better health. Green tea has been praised for centuries, but modern science now reveals precisely why. The secret lies in compounds called catechins, flavonoid polyphenols that function as potent antioxidants with specific fat-targeting properties. When you drink green tea, catechins work through multiple pathways simultaneously, creating a comprehensive attack on visceral fat. First, catechins stimulate your nervous system to increase fat oxidation and energy expenditure. Your metabolic rate rises, and your body preferentially burns stored fat for fuel. Second, these compounds inhibit digestive enzymes, particularly lipase, which breaks down dietary fat for absorption. By partially blocking lipase activity, less dietary fat actually enters your system. Green tea contains another crucial element, caffeine. While caffeine alone provides modest benefits, the combination of caffeine and catechins produces amplified effects that neither compound achieves independently. This natural synergy makes green tea uniquely powerful for targeting visceral fat. The evidence supporting green tea is substantial. A large Japanese study randomized 240 adults with visceral obesity into two groups. One group consumed green tea containing 583 milligrams of catechins daily, while the control group consumed tea with only 96 milligrams. Both groups maintained normal diet and physical activity throughout 12 weeks. The results were clear and measurable. The high catechin group experienced significantly greater reductions in body weight, body mass index, body fat percentage, waist circumference, and most importantly, visceral fat area measured by CT scan. Blood pressure and LDL cholesterol also improved more substantially. No adverse effects were reported, demonstrating safety alongside effectiveness. Practical implementation requires understanding catechin content varies widely. Processing methods determine final catechin levels. More processing means fewer catechins remain. Green tea contains higher levels than black tea due to minimal oxidation. For maximum benefit, choose minimally processed varieties. Matcha, made from ground whole tea leaves, provides the highest concentration since you consume the entire leaf. Sencha, another Japanese green tea with minimal processing, also delivers excellent content. Aim for approximately 600 milligrams of catechins daily, equivalent to 3 to 4 cups of quality green tea. Brew properly using water around 160 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit and steep for 3 to 5 minutes. Both diet and exercise contribute to weight loss, but when specifically targeting visceral fat, exercise demonstrates unique superiority. A comprehensive meta-analysis examining 117 separate studies revealed a fascinating pattern. While dietary interventions produced larger effects on total body weight loss, exercise showed superior effects specifically on visceral fat reduction. This distinction matters tremendously because visceral fat poses the greatest health risk. Exercise attacks visceral fat through mechanisms diet cannot replicate. During physical activity, hormones like adrenaline and noradrenaline signal visceral fat cells to release their contents for energy. Visceral fat, being metabolically active, responds more readily to these hormonal signals compared to subcutaneous fat. Additionally, exercise preserves and builds muscle mass while specifically targeting fat stores, whereas calorie restriction often reduces both fat and muscle simultaneously. Recent research published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine adds another critical dimension. Exercise benefits follow a dose-dependent relationship with visceral fat loss. This means the more you exercise, the more visceral fat you lose, a linear relationship. Remarkably, calorie restriction showed no such dose-dependent effect. Beyond a certain point, further calorie restriction provides no additional visceral fat loss and may even become counterproductive by slowing metabolism and increasing muscle loss. This dose-dependent finding liberates you from extreme dieting. Rather than starving yourself, which eventually backfires through metabolic adaptation, you can gradually increase physical activity and continue seeing improvements. Your body responds predictably. More movement equals more visceral fat burned. Consider what happens metabolically during consistent exercise training. Insulin sensitivity improves dramatically, meaning your cells respond more effectively to insulin signals and regulate blood sugar efficiently. Inflammatory markers decrease as visceral fat shrinks. Blood pressure normalizes. Liver function improves as ectopic fat deposits clear. Perhaps most encouraging, these metabolic improvements occur even when body weight remains stable. Multiple studies document significant visceral fat loss, improved insulin sensitivity, and enhanced metabolic markers in exercisers whose total weight changed minimally. Body composition transformed while the scale appeared unchanged. This reveals why bathroom scales provide poor feedback for health interventions. Your visceral fat could be shrinking substantially, your muscle mass increasing, and your metabolic health improving dramatically. Yet the scale might show minimal change. Trust the process, focus on consistent exercise, and understand your internal transformation exceeds what any scale reveals. What specific exercise protocol maximizes visceral fat loss? A systematic review analyzing 84 randomized controlled trials provides clear answers. Researchers examined how different exercise types, aerobic exercise at various intensities, resistance training, combined programs, and high-intensity interval training affected visceral fat in people with overweight and obesity. The findings were definitive. Vigorous intensity aerobic exercise and high-intensity interval training emerged as the most effective modalities for reducing visceral fat. Resistance training still provided benefits, just not as dramatically for visceral fat specifically. This doesn't diminish resistance training's importance. Maintaining muscle mass remains essential for metabolism and overall health. However, if your primary goal involves losing visceral fat as rapidly as possible over the coming months, prioritizing cardiovascular exercise delivers fastest results. Comparing high-intensity interval training directly against steady-state aerobic exercise revealed essentially equal effectiveness for visceral fat reduction in adults. Some evidence suggests running-based HIIT might provide slight advantages over cycling-based HIIT, and younger adults under 24 may respond somewhat better to HIIT than traditional aerobic work. However, these differences are minor, and individual response variation exceeds these population-level trends. Here's my perspective after reviewing extensive research. The absolute best exercise is whatever you'll consistently perform. That theoretically optimal HIIT protocol you despise and complete twice monthly will always lose to the exercise you genuinely enjoy and sustain several times weekly. Consistency trumps perfection every single time. Based on available evidence, an ideal protocol involves exercising at least 2 to 3 times weekly for minimum 45-minute sessions. Your chosen activity must reach moderate to vigorous intensity, approximately 70 to 80% of maximum heart rate. Without heart rate monitoring, use the talk test. During moderate intensity, you can speak full sentences but sound noticeably out of breath. During vigorous intensity, you can only manage a few words before pausing for breath. Choose activities matching your preferences and circumstances. Enjoy cycling? Cycle. Prefer swimming? Swim. Love dancing? Dance. Find walking meditation peaceful? Walk briskly. Hate traditional cardio but enjoy sports? Play basketball, tennis, or soccer? The magic isn't discovering the theoretically optimal exercise. It's finding sustainable movement you'll maintain long-term. Start where you are. If you're currently sedentary, begin with 20-minute sessions 3 times weekly at moderate intensity. Gradually increase duration and frequency as fitness improves. Progressive overload applies to cardio as much as resistance training. We've covered substantial ground today, and you now possess science-backed strategies for targeting visceral fat effectively. Let's quickly recap the essentials. Visceral fat, while dangerous, responds faster than other fat types to proper interventions. Fill your diet with carotenoid-rich vegetables. Aim for that rainbow of colors daily. Make green tea, particularly matcha or sencha, a consistent habit to get those fat-burning catechins working. Most importantly, prioritize regular, moderate to vigorous exercise at least 2 to 3 times weekly for 45 minutes minimum. Remember this critical point. Your bathroom scale tells an incomplete story. Body composition can transform dramatically even when weight stays relatively constant. Trust the process and maintain consistency. If this video provided real value and actionable information, kindly type yes in the comments. That single word genuinely motivates us to continue producing evidence-based content. Please hit that like button to help others discover this information. Share this video with anyone struggling with belly fat or metabolic health concerns. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our upcoming videos. Thank you for watching, for being part of this community, and for taking your health seriously. Stay healthy, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.